Musil, the natural choice for regularity.
Talk about some hot photos. The top supermodels are posing in the nude, and we have the world exclusive only on the next ET.
Tonight at 7:30.
This is Channel 2 News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Some asbestos removal work in the New York City public schools is at a standstill this day.
The reason? Not enough money in this very complicated mess that has already gone millions of dollars over budget. Channel 2's Reggie Harris is live in Long Island City. He's inside the School Construction Authority with more details for us. Reg?
Well, Michelle, we're waiting right now for Barry Light, the president of the School Construction Authority, to come in. He's going to make a statement and take some questions on this latest problem with the cleanup. The asbestos crisis is now a financial crisis as well for SCA. Only $64 million have been allocated for asbestos abatement, but that bill is going to be much higher apparently. So for now, any new work is not being awarded until funding is available.
7 weeks into the delayed school year, students at Brooklyn's PS 156 are still being bused to classes at PS 12 because asbestos is still being removed from PS 156. This is just one of 350 New York City schools where asbestos work remains to be done while either parts of buildings or entire schools are closed. And now comes word that the School Construction Authority has run out of money to complete the intense asbestos abatement project known as Operation Clean House. In a letter to Schools Chancellor Ramon Cortines, SCA President Barry Light says if asbestos is the priority, something else will have to go, meaning routine maintenance and repair of roofs and heating systems may have to be delayed if asbestos removal is to continue. Or more money will need to be allocated from somewhere if everything is going to get done. So far, $83 million in asbestos contracts have been awarded, but a new estimate from consultants says $36 million more is needed to finish the cleanup. That would bring the asbestos price tag to $119 million, more than double the original estimate from the summer when the work began.
Now, this morning, Mayor-elect Giuliani visited a school reading program in Manhattan where kids asked him how he is going to handle the asbestos problem. The mayor-elect says when he enters City Hall, he'll hire independent consultants to look at asbestos and lead cleanup. Now, this letter from Barry Light to Chancellor Cortines ends with the sentence, "Please let me know how you wish to proceed." He wonders where the money is going to come from. That has to come, apparently, from the Chancellor's office. So far, no word from Cortines. I'm Reggie Harris in Queens. Now back to the studio.
Okay, Reg, thanks. And Reggie mentioned the mayor-elect being asked of his opinions about asbestos. Well, he was busy in other ways again today. Mayor-elect Rudy Giuliani reached out to New York City school children earlier this morning. He read a book to kids at PS 111 in Manhattan, thereby kicking off the school volunteer program's Celebrity Read Aloud. A spokesman for Giuliani says the mayor-elect stressed education and the need to get back to basics, and he wanted to do his part in an entertaining way to encourage volunteers to help in the school system.
The most important palace dances performed all through the night, and the Oba himself, in ceremonial robes, danced for his subjects.
Mayor has to wear many hats. Well, after the reading session, the mayor-elect stuck around for a while for a little one-on-one chat with those kids. Later today, it's back to business, lunch with former Mayor John Lindsay, and a meeting later with Queens Borough President Claire Shulman. Michelle?
A man allegedly desperate for drug money is charged today in a brutal attack that killed a Brooklyn school crossing guard and critically injured her grandson. Police arrested 28-year-old Nelson Alvarez last night. He allegedly went to the home of 50-year-old Gladys Avias, the mother of his former girlfriend, on Sunday night and demanded money for drugs. Police say when she refused, he stabbed her in the chest and killed her, then stabbed her 12-year-old grandson, Mark Anthony Avias, shown here in a photo from the New York Times. Mark played dead and then later crawled out into a hallway and screamed for help.
Yeah, I used to play with my son and all that. They used to be together and all that.
Courageous little kid from what I understand, huh?
So the kid's fighting for his life and all that.
Mark is hospitalized in critical condition today.
In Virginia, it is day 2 in the Bobbitt case. That's the controversial trial of a man charged with raping his wife before she sexually mutilated him. John Bobbitt is charged with marital sexual assault. His attorney claims it was Bobbitt's insensitive lovemaking and not in fact rape that triggered his wife's attack. But today, a court counselor testified that Lorena Bobbitt asked about getting court protection from her husband just 2 days before the alleged attack. She faces trial later this month on a charge of malicious wounding. And there was more chilling testimony in Britain in the case of 2 11-year-old boys who are accused of bludgeoning a 2-year-old toddler to death. A 15-year-old girl, the last known witness to see little James Bulger alive, says she saw the boys carrying James, who was then laughing, near the bridge where he was later found beaten to death. James was kidnapped and killed last February after he strayed from his mother at a shopping mall.
A 17-year-old boy is arrested for allegedly starting one of the wildfires that raged through Southern California. Authorities say the teenager admitted he set last month's fire in Anaheim that burned 24 homes and 750 acres. As many as 5 other youths may also have been involved. 19 of the 26 recent wildfires in the region have been ruled arson.
The search for a hijacked armored car loaded with expensive jewels is finally over today. The car has been found. Authorities discovered it this morning in a storage facility in an industrial area of Farmingdale, Long Island. Now, this vehicle had been hijacked from Farmingdale on Sunday night, then loaded with at least 30 trunks full of jewelry. Police say some of the jewels were recovered in the car, but the most expensive ones had been stolen.
Well, for those of you who are stressed out on a daily basis as you try to maneuver through the maze of New York City traffic, there may be some explanations for your headaches. Channel 2's Jennifer McLogan is live at one such traffic hotspot on Manhattan's Upper West Side. What's going on there, Jen?
Well, Michelle, you know it all too well. Every day, rush hour or not, New Yorkers sit fuming in endless lines with jams and headaches as workers all over the city seemingly simultaneously hammer and saw and pound and repave and rebuild and tear up. And the jobs like this one along Columbus Avenue seem to take forever. It's fast becoming an all too familiar scene. If you've driven in New York City, especially lately, you're living the nightmare. Construction sites, one after another, causing a traffic mess.
You can't get where you're going. It's a terrible situation. They seem like they're always working, and it looks like a lot of them are on lunch.
You just can't get around the town anymore. You can't get into the city. If you get into the city, you can't get back out.
So why do motorists feel as if they're trapped in the city? One might blame the 11 members of the city's Road, Highway, and Bridge Coordinating Committees. They approve a record 100,000 permits a year, giving the right-of-way to city and state agencies, utility companies, and cable firms to do basically whatever they please to the roadways, and they all seem to be working at the same time.
If we deny a utility company to fix something, and lo and behold, somebody's life support system doesn't work because we deny, then we cannot be put in that situation. So if a utility company says the work is emergency, we have to take the word for it.
And motorists are not only fed up with traffic snarls, but some also have safety concerns. Fears that the roadways are so filled with construction workers that there may be some serious trouble.
I think it's a danger for the driver and for the guy working in the street, too.
Right now in the city, trouble spots include a repaving project on 6th Avenue in Midtown, to another construction extravaganza on Hudson Street in Lower Manhattan, to the infamous FDR Drive. But transportation officials are fast to defend themselves, saying the record number of permits needed reflects the need for road improvements to try to salvage the city's crumbling infrastructure.
The simple fact of the matter is that after 50 years of neglect, the infrastructure in this city is in terrible condition. We're making great progress in improving it, and it's a success story that so much work is being done.
We're getting a new mayor. Maybe it's time for the incensed to march on down to City Hall and meet with the mayor's construction coordination committee to let them know motorists are fed up. New York State officials seem to allow these jobs to drag on and on and on. Surely there must be a better way. Well, there is. We traveled around to other states, and tonight we'll bring you some innovative time-saving methods other states are trying. That's tonight at 11 o'clock on Channel 2. Michelle and Carol?
All right, Jim, that's something we can all relate to, and thank you. We'll be watching tonight at 11. We have lots more news still to come here on Tuesday afternoon. It's the 9th day of November. Up next, the Supreme Court makes a ruling on sexual harassment in the workplace.
And the NAFTA debate is just...
Sunshine, pure rainwater, fresh air. Nature turns them into whole grains, perfect in every way. Low in fat, rich in fiber. That's why nutrition comes naturally when they make Pepperidge Farm's natural whole grain bread. Those grains are left whole, nothing's added, nothing's taken away. Really moist, nutritious bread is simple as leaving nature well enough alone.
Have you seen my... What is this?
Perfect.
What? Let's go to Marshall's.
I knew you were going to say
I think we need his and hers love fish.
For the mantle?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, look. We saw this in that catalog.
Is that good?
Italian, $12.99. We can get a whole bunch of these.
Honey. Honey?
Here on the set, when the lights come up and the camera starts to roll, even one flake of dandruff can ruin it all. That's why I use Head & Shoulders.
Come into Conway stores and try Head & Shoulders yourself.
You know, it's even better than it was just a couple of years ago. Today's Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts. Put it to the test. Prove it to yourself.
Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. Now at Conway stores.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
New project?
Yes, I'm in the process of choosing a dentist. Compile data on their schooling, years in practice, special training, and I've narrowed it down to exactly who you just got from 1-800-DENTIST.
Find out for yourself how easy it can be. Call 1-800-DENTIST today.
Only ShopRite saves me money. In so many ways.
Every day is Savings Day at ShopRite.
I wouldn't shop anywhere else.
We save more money in more ways.
Golden ripe bananas, 3 pounds, $1. Land O'Lakes butter, 99 cents. A 2-liter bottle of Coke, Sprite, or Minute Maid, 89 cents. And save $4 for Walt Disney's World on Ice Aladdin with ShopRite's discount coupon.
Now those are great prices.
We save you money.
Why go anywhere else?
ShopRite does it right.
It'll be Vice President Gore versus Texas billionaire Ross Perot tonight in a made-for-television debate. The two will face off on CNN in a war of words over NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. President Clinton continues his pitch for NAFTA behind the scenes today, lobbying lawmakers. This morning, he met with NAFTA opinion leaders for a strategy session on selling that trade agreement. The administration still about 30 votes short, just 8 days before the critical House vote.
And while President Clinton spends the day working on NAFTA, First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton continues to push her health care reform package. Today, she's right here in New York, and Channel 2's Cindy Hsu is at the New York Public Library with details. Cindy.
Well, Michelle, the First Lady is on a whirlwind tour through the country trying to rally support for President Clinton's health care plan. And she's trying to do that by making the plan easy to understand. So the White House just came out with this book which breaks down the plan into layman's terms.
It is being made available commercially in bookstores, but it is also being put in every library in the country.
Mrs. Clinton is hoping millions of Americans will climb their library steps to read up on the health care plan. The book is called Health Security, the President's Report to the American People. And the White House staff is hoping the arguments in the pages will convince the public that the health plan will benefit everyone. But as Hillary Rodham Clinton tries to sway the public her way, some insurance companies are waging a media blitz of their own, with television ads blasting the health care plan.
Some of these details.
Like a national limit on health care?
Really?
The government caps how much the country can spend on health care and says that's it.
And yet with both sides bombarding the public with reasons why the plan should be passed or ditched, the people we talk to on the street say they still need to know more before they'll throw their support one way or the other. Have you made up your decision yet?
No, I haven't. It's a tough decision. You know, there's
pain and pleasure, like they say, you know, in anything. That's as big as this.
I'm a little bit undecided right now, but I think it's going to take a long while to be implemented. I don't know. But if it goes through, it will be really good for America.
I think there's not enough information out on it yet. I think that the American public needs to be more informed.
Now, this book is 136 pages long, and just leafing through it, it does look pretty easy to read. Now, as for how much taxpayers' money is going into distributing these books throughout the country, we know it costs the White House $5 a book to get these printed, but there's no word on how many books really are out there. In Manhattan, I'm Cindy Hsu reporting live. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
A Supreme Court decision today could make it easier for workers to prove on the job sexual harassment. This morning, the justices unanimously reinstated a lawsuit by a Tennessee woman who accused a former boss of making sexually suggestive remarks. Lower courts had thrown this case out before, saying that the woman failed to prove psychological harm. The justices ruled today that that's not necessary to make a case of harassment.
When we come back from a break, we're going to tell you the latest on those pumping iron photographs of Princess Diana.
And then Roseanne Coletti with her list of the nation's most dangerous toys.
Disselfink.
Ah, yeah, well, it's a little-known fact that a Disselfink is a filter that purifies Amazon River water.
A Disselfink is a stylized bird found in Pennsylvania Dutch art.
Ah, well, yeah, it also took on that meaning after the Eisenhower administration.
It's Balderdash, the game where you don't have to know the definition to wacky real words. Just bluff them.
Twain-dillo.
Ah, Twain-dillo. That's sure. Well, that's an armadillo who's been run over by a truck full of guitars. Play Balderdash. It's a definition of a good time.
Introducing new improved Prego Extra Chunky. Peppers that are now extra chunkier. Mushrooms now extra chunkier. Bigger chunks make it the best Prego Extra Chunky ever. It's Prego Thick. It's Prego Extra Chunky. It's in there.
Come to Pathmark for lower prices on these 30-ounce varieties of new and improved Prego Extra Chunky Spaghetti Sauce. The extra chunks mean extra taste, and Prego is specially priced for savings this week at Pathmark.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. There's still time to refinance your home at the Money Store, even if you have less than perfect credit. Over the last year, thousands of homeowners across America have refinanced their mortgages with the Money Store. You can apply by phone anytime at the Money Store, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's never an application fee. So to refinance your mortgage, even if your credit is less than perfect, call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Here on the set, when the lights come up and the camera starts to roll, even one flake of dandruff can ruin it all. That's why I use Head & Shoulders.
Come into A&P and try Head & Shoulders yourself.
You know, it's even better than it was just a couple of years ago. Today's Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts. Put it to the test. Prove it to yourself.
Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. Now at A&P.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
There's more fallout this noon from those secretly taken photographs of Britain's Princess Diana's workout session. Papers filed in Britain's highest court by lawyers for the princess have asked that any further publication of these photographs be stopped. Court papers have also been filed against the gym where the pictures were taken and the Mirror newspapers as well where they were published. Among other things, Diana's lawyers have demanded an account of all profits made by those involved in this picture-taking incident.
Now in our noon troubleshooter report today, an annual look at a veteran toy critic's list of the 10 most dangerous toys in America. Now these are the products you should definitely think twice about before you bring them home for the holidays. Troubleshooter Roseanne Coletti is here now with details. Take note.
Take note. If you're preparing to go out and do some shopping for the children on your holiday gift list, we have a warning for you from a well-known toy critic. His attorney Edward Schwartz of Boston has just announced his 25th annual list of dangerous toys. At the top, a French-made dart gun called the Pigeon Shooter. Schwartz demonstrated the gun's shooting force, firing a pencil into a pumpkin several feet away. He criticized the toy manufacturers of America for not putting out their own industry blacklist.
You tell us which toys can kill kids this year. That's your responsibility, not Schwartz's. Where's the TMA? Where's their list? Why don't they name names? And why does the media accept that answer?
Now, what has Schwartz labeled as the 10 worst toys? Well, in addition to the pigeon-shooting dart gun made in France, Schwartz has cited some rather harmless-sounding products. Sherry Lewis's Lamb Chops Play-Along by Direct Connect International Incorporated. Small Warner Brothers characters, Daffy Duck and the Roadrunner Rocket. Baby Koi Dragon of the Koi Toy Company. Sneezy and Dopey Dolls by Disney. Godzilla by Imperial Toy Corporation. Noel Cat, Nick Dog, and Jolly Jack Clown by Commonwealth Toy and Novelty. The Eliminator TS7 by Toy Biz Incorporated. Snowbell and Santa Bell by Applause Incorporated. Little People Mini Popper and Mini Vacuum by Fisher-Price. Now, many of the toys were cited because of small parts, buttons and eyes that can present choking hazards if they are swallowed.
Wow, some really big names on that list. Yeah, okay.
You have to be careful and check the toys before you make any of your purchases.
All right, Roseanne, thanks. Well, when we come back from this break, it's an incredible November day weather-wise, and Frank Field has more on that.
And then a holiday greeting card of sorts from Vanity Fair, starring Demi Moore, and guess who's playing Santa Claus?
A child's dream can be forgotten on a drug-ridden street. A child's hope can be smashed by violence and poverty. But in one of New York's toughest neighborhoods lies an oasis, a place that fosters dreams and empowers families with real solutions to real problems. Northside Center for Child Development, for 47 years, dedicated to the future of Harlem's children. Help us help our children. Call 212-860-1616. Together, we can make a difference.
Really talk to. Quality time for us is reading wonderful stories together.
For the experience of a lifetime, make time to read with your children.
When you need a second mortgage, there's only one phrase you need to hear.
Hello? Mr. Anderson, your loan was approved.
Call the Personal Mortgage Corporation at 1-800-DIAL-PMC.
Mr. Jackson, your loan was approved.
That's great.
No weeks of waiting, no application fees. You'll get an answer in 24 hours.
Yeah, approved.
Don't worry if others have turned you down. Call 1-800-DIAL-PMC, Personal Mortgage Corporation. When it comes to second mortgages, we approve.
Please pass the all fruit.
Pass the Polaner all fruit.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Would you please pass the jelly?
Polaner All Fruit is real fruit, sweetened only with fruit juice. You'll call it delicious, you'll call it remarkable, but please, don't dare call it jelly. Polaner All Fruit, the spreadable fruit.
Dear Midas customers, we'll fix the brakes on most cars the same day you bring it in.
It's time now to update you on our top stories this Tuesday noon. The School Construction Authority has run out of money to complete the asbestos cleanup project at New York City schools. So far, the city has awarded $83 million in cleanup contracts, but consultants say they need $36 million more to finish the job. First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton is in New York today. She's on another mission to sell the president's health care plan. This morning, Mrs. Clinton presented an easy-to-read version of the plan to the New York Public Library.
Well, Frank has a pretty easy week weather-wise, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty quiet.
If you got a minute, I'll tell you all about it. Okay.
We're all ears.
Well, it's not much of a change. A quiet week coming this way. Right now, it is 51 degrees. Normal high is 57. We're going to be slightly below normal because this is a rather cool air mass, and another one will be moving through very shortly. What we have is a ridge of high pressure that is covering the northeastern part of the country, and that ridge will continue to dominate. Notice all the clouds down in the southeast, Michelle? See
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, my.
Well, that's where all the weather is taking place. Okay. We may get... Stay out of it, Geraldo. This is my 1 minute of glory. And as soon as we change into the maps, we'll see what will happen. The ridge of high pressure which covers us will slip off into the northeast. That cold air you see over the Great Lakes will slide in. Most of it will pass to the north of us. So we'll stay in the chill for the next 5 days. The high for tomorrow, 53. That's below normal. 49 on Thursday. But note that all through the next 5 days, it'll be a mixture of sunshine and clouds, and a little on the cool side.
Those were some clouds, Frank.
Weren't they nice?
Thanks for showing them to
Yeah.
us. All right. Late night talk show host David Letterman is gearing up for his holiday gig with a little help from actress Demi Moore. They're both seeing red on the December cover of Vanity Fair. Well, that's Letterman underneath the beard, starring as Kris Kringle, a.k.a. Santa Claus, while Demi is all dolled up, apparently telling Santa just what she hopes to find under that Christmas tree. The magazine hits newsstands tomorrow.
Today at 4 o'clock, right here on Channel 2, Geraldo Rivera will introduce us to some women who claim they have had to sell their bodies to pay their bills. Geraldo.
Thanks, Carol. What do you do when you're a mom, you have kids, you're behind on the rent, you're short on food? Well, the moms on today's show, as Carol mentioned, supplemented their income by hitting the streets as hookers.
I got tired of worrying about when the light bill was going to be paid and how I was going to pay for child care and how I was going to get back and forth to school.
How long did you try the straight life?
Almost 6 months. Now we're $12,000 in debt. I just got tired of worrying and worrying and worrying, and finally, excuse my language, I said, you know, I said, I know where we can get some money.
I was where you always at, you know. And I have 3 years clean. And you can turn yourself around if you want to.
We did a program about moms who were forced into prostitution before, and as a result of that original broadcast, 2 mothers actually quit the streets, and those mothers returned to our show today. Unfortunately, they have sad news. They are back on the streets, and you'll find out why today at 4 o'clock. Ladies?
What were some of the reasons why they went back?
Well, some say that they just can't get used to working in a McDonald's for $5.50 after they're used to making $100, $200, $300 a night. Another sad reality is the drug scene. A lot of the women, for all their protestations, aren't really feeding their kids, they're feeding their habits. So.
Right. More at 4. Thanks, Geraldo. That's it for us.
And I'm Carol Martin. See you later.